Hey
Hey,
there.
how are you, man?
I'm good. I'm good. It's so nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet
Just to formally
you.
introduce, I'm Dominic. It's a pleasure.
It's nice to meet you, Dominic. Welcome to the Christian and Crystal podcast. I'm Christian. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. Real quick, just like some housekeeping. Have we started yet, or will we like
Yeah, we're
officially
on.
start
We're
this?
live,
We're on.
man.
Okay.
We're
Oh,
live.
we're live. Okay. And that
It's all good, man. Thank you so much for jumping on our podcast. I mean, we're super excited to have you. You're actually our first guest that we're meeting on the podcast that we actually haven't met in person. So this is actually it's actually pretty cool that we get to meet on our podcast, and you reached out to us, and we're super happy to have you. And so all we actually know is that you're a local musician, right? And so
Yes, sir. Yeah.
that was very interesting to us. We definitely wanted to have you on just we want to definitely make sure we have anybody on that's local, and local to the AV, and doing some incredible things. So tell us a little bit about that. I know you sent us the your other podcast, but I actually purposely did not want to watch it yet because I wanted this to just be a really authentic conversation and kind of get to know you and know about your journey and you as a musician. And so I literally only know that you are a local musician. Both of us, that's all we know.
Cool. Well,
So
I'm
tell us
sure
a little bit more.
all your listeners will also only know that much as well. So we're
Yeah.
all equal footing.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, just first off, again, thank you so much for having me on. I think we
Yeah.
have some mutuals on Facebook, and that's kind of how I came across you guys.
Awesome.
But then also you're like in the local AV podcast scene, and that's
Yeah.
kind of like a emerging, circuit going on in town, which I'm so excited to see because I love podcasts.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just really eager to shoot my shot and see if you guys would be willing to have me on. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
But yeah, would you like to know just kind of a little bit about the music that I make
Yes,
or just
absolutely. The music you make
overview?
and how you got into it. We want to know. We want to know all about you, man.
Sure. Yeah, well, I release music under the title The Sympathy of All Things. It's a bit wordy, but it's a quote from a psychologist named Carl Jung, who I've read a lot of his works. He was big in like the mid 20th century, very influential, and he's all of his work is really centered around understanding oneself, like really kind of diving into the depths of the individual, to try to understand who we are, like our core. And that's a message that really resonates with me, especially in recent years, just with crazy things going on in the world. I mean, the COVID pandemic was like a big watershed moment for me. It hit me right in the middle of college. I was going to AV college actually during that time. And having suddenly so much free time, I found myself diving into my music in a way that I hadn't had a chance to in a long time because there was just nothing really to do otherwise. So, you know, the beginnings of this project kind of started during COVID. And a lot of songs and ideas for songs came out of that time. And I was in another band as well at the time called Sound Curfew, which was more of a collaborative project, like a hard rock band. And we played a lot of shows and we recorded an album and we even did a tour. But a couple years ago, I just really got the urge to dive headfirst into this project because it was a little more personal. It's really just me and my producer, Diego Hodge, kind of working on the songwriting and the production elements of it. So it's very true to me, very raw and intimate. And I've just kind of really gotten it off the ground this year because I was able to release an album called Emargy back in August, and we did a tour up the West Coast. We went all the way from, Palmdale to like Olympia, Washington was the furthest north that we went. So I've really just been busy with that this year. We recorded music videos, to kind of promote the singles as they were coming out. I've done some podcasts, like this, to kind of promote it and just talk about the work. And yeah, I'm kind of just, doing this by night. I do work a full-time job, so I'm fairly busy with that in the daytime, but this is a huge passion of mine, and I'm keeping it alive every day that I can. So that's really how this project kind of got off the ground, and it's just rolling at the moment.
That's super cool. That's awesome, man. Where did that passion come from?
Uh, I've got to credit my family for sure. I come from a pretty big family. I have seven siblings, and I'm the
Oh.
second youngest of the eight of us total.
Mhm.
So I have a lot of older siblings, and four of them are older sisters who um, had just so much music taste. I mean, just all of them have kind of their own particular palette, like sonic palette that they're interested in. And growing up, I just kind of started soaking stuff up, that I would hear in the car, or, we would watch a lot of like MTV and even like Fuse on
Hmm.
cable, which is like a big like
Yeah.
music video channel. All they play was just music videos. Um, and I really got interested in music by just hanging out with them and listening to what they were into. At first, I wanted to be a drummer. I loved watching drummers and like I loved rhythm and just the idea of being that kind of spine of the band. But it kind of worked out that one of my sisters got a guitar for Christmas and started learning, but didn't go super deep into it. But because of that, there was just a guitar lying around in the house. I don't know what came over me exactly, but I just a little after my 10th birthday, I just picked it up and I just started noodling with it. And my sister Karina, whose guitar it was, she had a friend who was also like very good at guitar and was kind of teaching her the basics. He started teaching me the basics once I expressed some interest. So he got me started, and then I just never really put it down.
Yeah. That's
That's
awesome.
amazing.
That's super cool, man. Yeah, that was gonna be my next question is I wanted to know what instrument that you
Mhm.
played. So you're a guitarist.
I'm a guitarist, yeah. Yeah. I,
Super
I
cool.
dabble in other instruments. Like I play bass. I play a little bit of keyboard and like synthesizer.
Mhm.
But for the most part, the guitar is my safe place.
That's
That's
awesome.
amazing.
That's awesome. Did you ever play the drums? You said
Just to like try it out.
yeah. I
Nothing
was
I would
just
ever
curious
want
because
anyone to see or
just
hear.
because yeah. I think that's funny how I was just curious because you said you started you wanted to play the drums and then
Mhm.
you picked up that guitar and you never put it down, man. That's
Mhm.
that's that's super cool. So what genre is your music?
Uh, you know, I find it a little hard to describe because you'll even hear like song to song, I'm kind of exploring
Mhm.
Okay.
different
Yeah.
sounds and different energies, but I primarily kind of categorize as like indie, like independent, like singer-songwriter. So a lot of there's an acoustic guitar element to a lot of the songs. A lot of the songs start on acoustic guitar, but they tend to become much more than that once I've actually begun recording them. I love kind of combining like acoustic instruments like live drums and acoustic guitar with electronic elements as well. So a lot of the songs on my album Margie, they kind of blend, acoustic drums with drum machines, or they'll blend an acoustic guitar with like a deep like bass synthesizer as the low end. And I sing in like very much like a like an alternative rock kind of way. A lot of falsetto. I'm a big fan of bands like Radiohead, bands like Alt J, Muse. Honestly, a lot of UK bands. Now that I say it, I'm a big fan of. Um, but yeah, it's sometimes it leans more into like rock style. Sometimes it's even more. I would say like hip hop and kind of the like the rhythm elements of it. Um, but if I was forced to pick a genre, I would say singer-songwriter.
That's amazing. So you're kind of going over a lot of like your different like styles you go through and how you go through each song. What do you say kind of is your process while you're creating your music? Do you have like a specific process or it's just kind of depends on the song, really, how you go about writing them and producing them and everything?
Yeah, it's so random. Like my whole life, I have just been like afflicted with these little melodies that will come up or these rhythms that will just like start to fixate on. I don't always know where they come from. Certainly, it'll be inspired by things that I hear, but I tend to latch on to ideas and then, as soon as I can get to my phone, if I have a chance to like kind of hum it into my phone, I do that a lot. I have a lot of voice recordings of me just humming ideas. And then if I can get to a guitar, I'll start to kind of figure out, the basic chord structure or melody from there. It really has helped though, when I got into college, I started taking music production classes as like an elective to kind of learn how to get the stuff onto computers and kind of play around, more of what producers do, actually play around with EQ, and like other effects that you can do on the computer. And I'm no expert, but I know enough on my music software that I can make demos. And on this last album, that was super helpful because like I said, a lot of the songs just start on the acoustic guitar and I'll have like a vocal melody. But then once I can record what I have and then listen back over and over, all these ideas start to come up as well. And then it's just a matter of getting them out of here, and onto a synthesizer or a drum machine or whatever it may be. So it's very iterative. It's very much like just kind of layer after layer. Sometimes you got to strip stuff back because it's not working. But it's pretty iterative and it's pretty a lot of editing going on. And then even when I take it to my producer, once I have a demo, my producer Diego Hodge, he's got such a good ear for how we could best record an instrument. What kind of mics should we use? Um, even just like kind of pulling the best out of me in terms of performance. Like how should I play it? Because maybe in the demo, I'm in my bedroom, kind of going for more of like a chill, laid back vibe, but in the studio, he's like, no, you should go for more energy or whatever it may be. So. I would say more than anything, it's just an iterative process that I'm like working at little by little.
No, it's amazing. It's really like you coming out through your music, basically, is like what you're saying. Like it's very unique to you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think so. I think so. Like anybody who knows me too, like some of the songs on the most recent album, I had a bit of a family tragedy when I was recording the album because my mother passed away of Alzheimer's disease.
I'm
Wow.
so
And that
sorry.
was really tough on the whole family. It was, extra tough because she'd been sick for so long. Alzheimer's is sometimes it works fast, oftentimes it's a very slow kind of degradation. So she'd been sick for 10 years, but she did finally pass in 2022. And that really brought a lot out, like the grieving process brought a lot out
Yeah.
emotionally, that I didn't always know what to do with, but it did a lot of that found a home in the music.
Mhm.
And even the title Amarji is kind of like an ode to her because that was a word that I discovered a few years back, reading a book called The Chalice and the Blade, and it's a Sumerian word that dates back to like ancient times, and it's the first word, recorded word that we have in the West that we can translate to freedom or like being free from a
Wow.
debt or something like that. But it actually literally translates to return to the mother, which I just thought was super poignant and poetic. So I titled the album, and there's a song on there called Amarji as well that's, dedicated to her. So yeah, it is a pretty raw experience, but it's very therapeutic for me, honestly. Like I don't think I have any better way to express myself. So
I love that. I love that.
Mhm.
I'm actually really super excited to listen to your music. Where can I do that? Are you on Spotify, um, YouTube? Maybe all those. You're on Spotify?
yeah, all of them. All of them.
Awesome.
Uh-huh. Apple Music, Amazon, even some obscure ones. There's a big music software or music streaming service called Deezer that's like really big in France, but nowhere else. But I'm even on there.
Wow.
So
That's
wherever you
awesome.
listen to music, yeah, you'll be able to find it.
Super cool. Is it all under the same name by chance? Just for anybody?
Yeah, all if you search the sympathy of all things,
Sympathy of all
it'll come
things.
up. Yeah.
I
And
love it.
on YouTube you can check out the music videos. We made a
Oh,
couple this year.
super cool. That's awesome.
That's amazing.
That's awesome, man. I'm pretty excited to check those out and listen to that, especially just how passionate you are about
Mhm.
speaking about it, listening to it, I think is going to be a pretty cool experience. So I'm excited for that. Um, so you're very creative. I love talking to people who are more right-brained just because they're so creative and so
Mhm.
artistic. And myself, I'm not very much like that. So it's always interesting talking to people who are more, artistic and creative. And I loved her question about, the process and how you create your music. And so and how you have to take it from here to creating it. So it's just fascinating to me, like just listening to people who are just more artistic. So anyways, just that was
I
just
appreciate that.
comment to you, yeah. But I love that, you're very creative. Um and as an artist, I think that that's very important. Do you have any certain artists or music right now that's a very big
My
influence?
dog is okay, by the way. They're just wrestling, and
Oh, okay,
sometimes
I
it's a
can't, we
little
Yeah.
can't hear we
too
can't hear
hard.
him. Yeah.
Oh, you couldn't hear that?
No.
Okay,
You're
on my
totally
end,
Yeah.
it was like this, like the squeak of like a squeaky toy, but that was my dog.
Oh,
But
fine. No,
sorry to cut you
you're
off.
good. You're good. You're good. Ours is back here. He's
shooing him, like,
yeah.
shh, shh, go, go.
Yeah.
So no,
And
yeah, we work with the dogs.
what kind of dog do you have?
I'm so bad with my dog breeds, but I have three small dogs. Two of them, I'm pretty sure are like miniature pincher, like hybrids, or like they're not just miniature pincher, but they're kind of mixed. And then the other one is like this white, long-haired Chihuahua. He's the squeaky one. His name is Lemon. So
I love it. It's always the small dogs with a lot of personality, though. Like they always
so
super,
true.
they like
Yeah,
to
they
be
don't know. Well, actually, I think they do know how small they are, and they're
cute.
overcompensating for that by
That's
being,
hilarious.
aggressive and imposing.
Yeah. That's funny. We have a husky.
Who's
Oh,
terrified
okay.
of small dogs?
Who's yeah, he's seems to be terrified of everything, honestly. Um,
So much energy,
he
huh?
thinks he's all big and
Yes.
bad. Yes,
Yeah.
very
So
much so. Lots of energy. And opposite with him, he thinks he's tiny. He
yeah.
thinks he can fit anywhere.
Cuddle.
He wants to sit on your lap, and it's just, dude, you're not. He's not
Yeah.
small, like, and he thinks
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
is,
I have a
but
friend that has a husky. It's the exact same thing. Just like always
yeah,
wants to sit on laps.
yeah,
Like, just-
And you're like, you're this huge
yeah.
dog.
It's like he thinks he's
They shed, so you know, like you held that husky, and for days they'll be with you because that's how clingy they
that's right. That's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, especially out here in the desert. I mean, they're
are.
not bred to live in the desert necessarily, but
oh
that long hair just gets everywhere. I mean, it's
Mhm.
yes, everywhere, everywhere. It's crazy.
yeah. Well, I'm sorry to cut you off. I
No,
forget
you're
No,
exactly
good.
where
You're
the question
good. I
was,
love
but
it. No big deal. But I wanted to know what maybe what inspires your music today. Is it um a certain songs you listen to? Is it certain artists? Um,
because there was like a
what
shift in
influences?
music from when you were in a band kind of to now. Do you think that was influenced like externally by other musicians or just something internally that you kind
Yeah.
of shifted to being because do you perform with a band or is it yourself now?
yeah. So we just wrapped up this tour to promote the album. It was at the very beginning of August. So for about 2 weeks, we traveled up the West Coast. So much fun. And I did have a live band for that.
Okay.
I had a four-piece band with me, and then we took some other bands that were friends on the road as well, and we all played together each night. So yeah, I do have a band for performing for the most part, although I also do shows by myself with like my drum machine and my loopers and stuff, and that's always like its own kind of fun challenge is, how can you do as much as you can on your own? It's like kind of a fun, thing of endurance. But yeah, recording though, it's pretty much just me and my producer, like playing everything. Luckily, he plays drums, so he plays the drums on the songs a lot of the time. Um, but I'm sorry, the first part of your question though, can you remind me?
So like the you were talking about like the music, is there any influence on like external musicians or
Yeah, just what
yeah.
influences? Is it more intrinsic, extrinsic? I was just wondering,
Yeah,
what influences
it's
you
both.
today?
It's definitely both. I'm a fairly introspective person. I've always kind of for better and for worse, I have like I ruminate like no other. Like if something disturbs me or even excites me, I'll just think about it a lot. And a lot of like the content of the songs lyrically will come out of things that I'm thinking about or with my band Sound Curfew, even kind of more current events, like we were a little more of like an aggressive, kind of like in your face kind of band. So we took on a lot of like kind of societal strife or like political strife that we saw going on. But with the sympathy of all things, it's much more sensitive, honestly. And I do think a lot of the songs come from a place of just like moments in my life or collections of moments that really affected me. Again, for better and for worse. Some of the songs are super happy and like life affirming, and some of the songs are diving into, like the void, the place that we've all been sometimes where you're just like you're struggling to find the point or you're regretting, something you did and you want to make it right. So I really try to bear all that out lyrically. And then musically, in terms of influences, like I said, I'm a big fan of Radiohead, and I think anybody who listens to my music will pick up on that if they're familiar with that band. They really expanded like my sonic palette and kind of what I thought like music could sound like, honestly. They really kind of rocked my world when I first discovered them. Um, but then I'm also like in terms of guitar players, like Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine has always been like my guitar hero. Just the way that he plays and the way that he uses guitar effects pedals, super inspiring for me. Um, and then I'm a big fan of Bjork. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Bjork at all. She's like an Icelandic singer. She was bigger in like the 90s, but she's still around. She is such a weirdo and has like such a I cannot even describe her style. Like it would be you guys have to check it out and see what you think. But specifically her production. Like her production is so vast and dense and there's a lot going on. And yet it all fits together. And I was always super inspired when I listened to her work about like how do you make that happen? How do you get all that in there and like EQ it in such a way that it doesn't feel like just noise?
Got you. That's awesome. So taking it back to Guitar Hero, did you
Yeah.
did you ever play Guitar Hero?
Only at the movie theaters and like the
Okay.
arcade
Yeah, yeah,
style,
yeah.
only ever there. That's actually how I discovered Rage Against the Machine was because I always wanted to play Bulls on Parade because I thought
Okay.
it was super cool. It was fairly easy too on Guitar Hero.
Okay.
But that was my only real like foray into it. I never had it at home. And also I was never really any good at it. Honestly, it
Okay.
didn't click. Like,
That's hilarious. That's actually very interesting that you weren't good at that, but that you're
You can play guitar.
that you would play a guitar. That's actually really funny. But I mean, it's not like a real, it's just a game, but
it's a controller,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
first
yeah.
and foremost, like
For sure.
it's 5 buttons or 6 buttons, but
Yeah.
like it just didn't always translate for me. But I knew some people who were really good at Guitar Hero,
Yeah.
like
Um
insanely good.
yeah, funny enough, I actually had Guitar Hero and I was actually really good at it. And I
I
have no
love
idea
that.
how to play a guitar. So it's so funny because like this whole time I'm like, dang, like but this is why I love meeting new people who, share a whole different, passion than what we do is because we get to learn so much about, their passion or their specific um, thing. But I was trying this whole time. I'm like, what have I ever played? I'm like trying to relate, and I'm like, how can I like I've never. And you said Guitar Hero, and I was like, that's it. That's that's the closest I've gotten. Because I'm like, what instrument have
Well,
I ever played? And I couldn't think of anything. That I mean, I played the piano, and that was probably it. But I was like, man, I can't think of nothing. And then you said Guitar Hero, and I was like, all right, that's the one.
it's not nothing, okay? I,
Yeah.
I have no shade for Guitar Hero. Because
Yeah.
honestly, it did get a lot of people. That band and Rock Band, that other video game, very
Oh
similar. They did
yes, I
get a lot
forgot
of
about
people
Rock
into
Band.
playing. Because the
Yeah.
cool thing about Rock Band is you also had like the little drum controller, right?
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
and
you
like
had
a microphone, I
literally
think.
a whole band. You
The
did.
first drummer of my first band of Sound Curfew, his name is Chris. He actually started playing drums because he got into it through Rock Band.
Wow, that's pretty
So
cool.
that actually was one of those stories where
There you
somebody
go.
discovered a
Yeah.
passion through that game and then, took it to the next level. So
Yeah.
it definitely, there's a place for it,
Yeah.
And I know they tried to like, hey, can you hear that dog or no?
No.
No, you're good.
Wow, the noise suppression on Zoom is just incredible,
Yeah.
because he's really loud.
That's awesome.
Um, but yeah, love Rock Band. Not very good at it, but yeah, I did play
Yeah.
it.
That's awesome. Yeah, I really enjoyed Guitar Hero. That was fun. I don't think you ever played it, huh?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
amazing.
You were too?
Yeah,
Dang.
great. I can't play the
Look at
guitar, so,
that.
but
That's so funny.
you're amazing.
You know who was better than me at it was my brother. And this is
Oh
what's
yeah?
is what's really embarrassing is he was like 5.
And he
He
was
was
just
like
like,
5 years old. Yeah, Eli. So if he's watching this, man, he was killer on it. And I was like 15. And I'm like,
yeah.
this is not good. Like he was just like I'm like, oh my goodness, like this is embarrassing. This is my game. Like he was killer at it. I thought that was so funny, but man, Guitar
Mhm.
Hero, that's awesome. So what about is there anywhere any events you have coming up or anywhere we might be able to catch you
Yeah.
live?
Yeah, there are. I'm so glad that you asked. Actually, I just found out today that I officially have another show on the schedule. So I'm going to be playing at Transplants Brewing
Oh,
over there in West Palmdale.
nope,
And
familiar.
I'm playing on November 4th, which I believe is it's a Tuesday. It's election day as well. Yeah, but they have some really cool bands playing that night. I'm on the lineup. And that'll be really cool because it'll be the first time I've played since the tour. So I'm working on kind of a special set list for that and looking forward to that. So that's a, fun local show coming up.
November 4th, transplants.
Yeah. Yeah.
What time was that? Sorry, did you say the time?
I believe doors are going to be at 7, if
Okay,
I'm not mistaken.
cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
If you guys can make it, it'd be great to see you there.
Yeah, that's definitely we're gonna put that on the calendar to see if we can catch you there. We've been once before. Is this specific show, is it strictly for bands or is it like an open mic? That's what it's called, right? Open mic?
Gotcha. Yeah, it's not an open mic. They do have an open mic on
Strictly for bands?
Tuesdays.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Oh,
but this will be like an actual because I think they have a touring band coming in.
super cool.
Yeah, yeah. Transplants is amazing. They're by
Yeah,
far the
super cool
best
spot.
venue in the
Yeah,
AV. I mean, yeah, they were so good to my previous band, Sound Curfew, and they've been so good to my current project. So, just nothing but love for the people over there.
absolutely. Yeah, no, they have a good spot there. So, hopefully we can make it
Mhm.
to check you and your band out, man. That'd be super cool. Um,
Yeah, that'd be
that
sick.
yeah, the last time we were there, same thing was to support it was actually one of my employees who did comedy on open mic night. So I think that was actually our first time there, and I was like, wow, this place is pretty cool. So super cool place, and really good beer too. So
Yep.
that's a plus.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm glad you said that because their beer can be kind of controversial. Because some people I won't call them out, but like some people are like, it's not very traditional. A lot of their
yeah,
beer is very like experimental and like
yeah,
experimenting with different flavors. And
yeah,
like if you're not ready for that, you're just gonna think everything in there is super weird and tastes nasty. But I
yeah,
love that about transplants. I feel like every time
yeah.
I go there, I find something new.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's an
for sure.
experience.
Definitely. It's an
Yep.
experience going there, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I was curious, just to kind of understand a little more about you guys. Can you tell me a bit about like what you guys do, like what your business is, like kind of, if you don't mind. I mean,
Yeah, no,
I'm genuinely
absolutely. We
curious.
always love sharing. So,
Okay.
similar to you, we both work W-2 jobs
Mhm.
as well.
Yeah.
I manage hotels here locally. So if you've heard of Marriott, I manage a couple Marriotts out here. If you've ever like
Yeah.
nobody's heard of Marriott. Um,
I've
yeah,
seen the
so
ones around town though. Like I feel like there's always like a new Marriott getting built these
Yeah,
days.
there's
So
like 3 right now in
Yeah.
our market. So you're absolutely right.
right.
So it's like every month there's a new one popping up. It's kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I manage hotels. I serve on the board as well for Visit Palmdale.
Okay.
So that's why I love meeting a lot of new people in the community because
Mhm.
I want to see if there's a way we can collaborate or support our local artists, influencers and businesses in any way we can. So if there's some way I can connect you to an event or a business, I would definitely love to do that to support you. So that's what I do as a career. And then we also run our real estate business as well, where we blend traditional real estate with creative finance. And we do that as well. Um, and so that business is really just about, education, especially on the creative finance side, educating families who might not qualify for a traditional loan, how they can
Right.
still get a dream home through creative finance and through non-traditional ways, and we teach that. So, or even saving homes, so any homes that might go into foreclosure or that would be considered distressed for any reason, we're the team that can bring the right resources and investors to save their home, whether that's paying off the arrears and the debt that's owed, bringing it up
Hmm.
to current, taking over the mortgage, whatever it may be, and saving their credit.
Mhm.
Just really, that's why it's called creative finance, really getting creative on how we can find the solution that benefits both the seller and the buyer
Mhm.
in that specific transaction. So that's what we do in our business and what I do as a career.
Mhm.
And I will let you speak to
Oh,
whatever you'd
I
like
do
to.
medical accounting. Super exciting.
Okay.
No, but it's really nice. I'm definitely in the more finance field. I work with numbers a lot. So going into real estate and being able to actually like go out and like talk with people and get to know our community and the people in it and finding solutions for them is amazing. And kind of that's why we went into it. We just love our community. We love the Antelope Valley. We love seeing other people who are out here and just have talent
Yeah.
and just want to live their life in amazing ways.
Yeah.
So,
We love showcasing the AV. So it was perfect that you had and not just the AV, but the great people we have here
mhm.
doing phenomenal things, like I always say. And so it was super cool that you reached out to us and you were like, "Hey, I'm a local artist and would love to be on your podcast." And I was like, "Easy, like local artist, let's do it." So it was a no-brainer for us, and so we really were excited to have you on, and to talk about something totally different on our podcast because I mean we interview a lot of business owners and some of our friends in real estate, um, and so just someone from a whole different industry was is pretty cool to jump on a podcast with. But that's what this podcast is about. Just really showcasing our Antelope Valley, the local talent, the businesses here, and just the phenomenal people that are out here doing incredible things and making it the great community that it is. That's what
Hmm.
this podcast is about. So, but it could also it's a space for anybody. So we have a few guests that are going to be jumping on who are from our real estate business, who don't live out here. Um,
Hmm.
but have invested out here, are looking to invest out here, and we're going to be jumping on podcasts with them too. But that's what this is about, and that's why we also wanted to make it virtual because we could reach more people. Um,
Right.
we felt we didn't need much. We have one mic. Um, we don't have a bunch of cameras. We got a computer. But how many people could we reach and talk to and have a conversation with that are doing incredible things out here or just in their lives in general that want to share their story. So we thought, why don't we just start a podcast and get some people on? And we started it with just us and nobody to interview, obviously. So we just talked to each other
Mm.
for a few episodes. Um, and so that was fun though. We were just, talking about life and goals and, I'm sure some of our viewers might want us to maybe do that again too. Because those are always, fun to listen to just us as well. But I enjoy meeting new people and having these conversations. So I really do appreciate you reaching out to us, um, to be on our podcast, man.
Yeah, well, same here. I mean, first off, you guys are a bit of a power couple. It's super cool. It's super cool that you're like you guys have like your hands in these different fields and you come together to work on, different projects together. I think that's so cool. And then also like just your guys' love for the AV, I
Yeah.
find so endearing because I feel the same way. I've lived in Lancaster pretty much my entire life. I grew up in Port Sale, went to school out, in Port Sale down the street, right? But I currently live in Lancaster, work in Lancaster, and then I'm in Palmdale all the time because, we just constantly
Yeah.
moving around, right? So I love this space. I think it has so much natural beauty, and so many idiosyncrasies. Like there's no place like the Antelope Valley. It's so particular, and unique. So, I'm always like going to bat for this place. I mean, you guys know it's
Yeah.
so common. Everybody's like, this place sucks, dude. I gotta get out of
Yeah.
here first chance I get. And then, funny
Yeah.
enough, a lot of people do,
How
but then they always come back.
how many of them come back, right? Yeah.
That's
That's so
right.
true. Yeah.
But I love this space, and I do think like, on the business side of things, I do think we're really coming up. I think you can see it around town. There's a lot going
Wow.
on, and a lot of development, and that's really exciting. But then also creatively, all through high school, I was just going to shows all the time, like all over town. There's so many bands out here that just like have something to say and want to put it out there and like going to shows in backyards, where there wasn't like a venue to host. And then now we have Transplants Brewing and they're doing so much week to week. So I just think from all different angles, it's really exciting time to live out here. And I think it's really cool that you guys are, providing a platform just to meet your neighbors really and to
Yeah.
talk about what's going on out here. I think it's super cool.
That's exactly it, man. That's exactly it. That's super cool. And so you mentioned you grew up out here?
Yeah, whole life. I'm 24, so I was born AV Hospital and grew up in Quartzville and
Wow.
did all the schools out there,
So
elementary
cool,
through
man.
high school.
That's awesome.
I went to CSUN for college, but I commuted, like
That's
most of us do. So,
that's awesome. Yeah, no, explains your passion for the AV.
Mhm.
Um, Oddly enough, I did not grow up out here.
oh,
That's kind of
that's
interesting, but
interesting.
yeah, I did
Yeah,
not grow up out here, but I fell in love with the AV and I love it out here and to your point, people they always talk down, they're like, oh, Lancaster, Palmdale, like, and I'm like, what is like, what are you talking about? Like, this is such a beautiful place. Like, we raise our kids here, and it's so family oriented, and both cities are so involved in the community, and there's so many things to do, and they're always investing, and there's so much development, and there's so much opportunity, and so I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, we don't see the same thing, but that's
yeah,
okay, like that's why God gave us our own visions, and it's like,
Mhm.
okay, so you don't have the same vision that I do, it's fine, but at least
that's right.
let me showcase and introduce you to some of the great people out here,
Mhm.
so
That's so right, but it's also like it's so typical too, because you'll meet anybody from any hometown, and
yeah,
that's how
it's
they feel
true, that
about
is
the place
true,
where
and
they
they're like,
grew up, right?
I
Like,
want to leave this place. That's so true. Yeah, that's very
like
true.
you could go to like, people complain about, oh, it's so hot here, it's so, beige out here, but then like you meet people from like the Pacific Northwest, redwoods as far as you can see, and they're saying the same things, like this
Yeah.
place is suffocating, I gotta
Yeah.
get out of here, man. Like,
Yeah. That's so true. That's very true. But yeah, to your point, just going to bat for the AV. So super cool. And yeah, that's why it was so easy to for us to jump on a podcast with you, man. When you said local to the AV, I said let's do it. So super cool. I appreciate the question. Thanks for
Yeah, no problem, no
uh,
problem.
other than the November 4th show, what's next for you? Like, is there a big project that you're working on? Um, like what's next for you?
Yeah, there's a few different things. I'm working on demos for a bunch of like new stuff. Honestly, when I got back from the tour, like I had so many new ideas, and the first thing I wanted to do was like get in my room and start recording again and start getting ideas out there. So I have like a handful of songs that I'm working on, and then I'm also working on some like collaborative projects with some friends of mine. I'm working on a cover song right now
Nice.
that we just rehearsed for it yesterday actually, and we're gonna keep rehearsing and then record a video. That's the plan, later this month. Um, and then yeah, I mean, honestly, between the collaborations and then these new songs, my goal is to next year have an EP. So not quite an album length release, but more of like a 4 to 5 song project. It's a little shorter, but also my goal is to. You should know that between my first album with this project and my second album, which just came out, there was 5 years. So I really, really took my time. It was like a little
Yeah,
longer than I maybe would have wanted it. I got very busy with school and with the other band and all this stuff, and it just kind of worked out that way. But I definitely, my goal is like I gotta have something out next year, and it cannot take 5 years. So definitely there'll be more stuff and more shows and all that next year. That's the plan.
that's
Awesome.
awesome, man. That's super cool. Well, that's super exciting. That gives us some stuff to look forward to. Um, Again, hopefully we can catch you at your show on November 4th. What
Mhm.
day is that? That's
You
That's a
said,
Oh, it's a
yeah.
Tuesday, 7 p.m. Okay. Sounds good. That's cool. Nice. Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, um, thank you. Thanks for your time. Do you have any more questions for us or anything?
Um,
Anything we missed about you?
no, I mean, yeah, probably a question that your listeners probably already know. I'm genuine. I'm a people person too. I love to meet new people. So I am curious. Like I'm curious, like how long you guys been married, like how many kids you have,
Oh,
like that
yeah,
sort of
yeah,
thing.
yeah,
If you don't mind getting into it, but I'm just,
yeah. Super cool.
So how long have we been married for?
We've been married since 2021, which is 4 years, going on
Mhm.
5. Um, we have 2 kids, 2 girls. So I'm a girl dad.
Mhm.
Um,
that's right.
and what else? Um, yeah, what else? What else did you ask? So kids, how long we've
That
been
was the
married?
basics, and also like, you mentioned you weren't from the AV. Is that the same with you as well? You both are from the AV, or how did you find yourself out here?
Yeah, no, I actually came out here 12 years ago to go to ABC.
Okay,
So
okay.
yeah, I love that school. It's like one of the best community colleges, I think, in California or something. And
Mhm.
people honestly aren't taking advantage of it. It has like so many amazing trade schools. We have like CSUB here, we have Long Beach here, like I don't know. I that's why I came out here. I went to ABC. I went to CSUB from there, and that's kind of how I got out here. And then we happened to meet each other here randomly, doing like financial services. So
Yeah.
Very romantic.
yeah, very romantic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
She came in for an interview and I said, "You're hired."
Wow, that sounds terrible. He did not interview me. That's so-
Let's say, what did HR have to say about that?
I know, huh?
he did not interview me.
I did it. But I said to her, she got all embarrassed.
You got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you
Right?
got to do.
She was hired.
He did me there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Look at that. And you guys hired each other to be
Yeah.
yeah.
life partners. So
Yep.
it all comes around.
And then I was hired.
Yeah.
Right. And then where were you from originally?
I'm from Ventura County and then San Bernardino.
I was born in Anaheim
Hmm.
with
Okay,
where Disneyland was born. Um,
that's right.
I don't know. I don't know why I say that. That sounds lame, but
You could just
I know.
embellish a little bit.
Um, so yeah, I was born there. And then my family and I slowly moved our way up to the high desert. And then I think I spent 14 years in Victorville, of all places, Victorville, Adelanto, which is just hop, skip,
Hmm.
and a jump over to that way. But high
Hmm.
desert nonetheless. So and then I just kind of shifted my way over here through work, and through meeting her. So and then now we own our home out here and we're helping build a beautiful community out here in the Antelope Valley. And that's how we got here.
We love it. We plan on staying here.
Super cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an amazing place.
Yeah. A lot of our families trying to recruit us in different directions
Mhm.
and states, and we're fine here. We're happy here. It's fine. And we have our community here, we have our church here, we have our friends here, we have family here. So
Hmm.
we we're enjoying it. And we get to meet great people like you, which is cool.
Oh, I
That's the
appreciate
fun
it.
part.
Same here. Seriously, it's been a pleasure. I we got to just talk on Facebook after this too, just get to know each other. But
Yeah.
this has
Yeah.
been super fun. It's super fun to meet somebody over like a broadcasted
Yeah.
uh thing. Honestly, I feel like it's very genuine. You
It
can't
is
first
actually
impressions are what they are. So
100%, right? That's 100%. And so, that's what I wanted this to be about, just authentic and genuine. And um, we always go in with, especially when we've interviewed, like a lot of the business owners we've interviewed, they also are our friends as well. Some of them
yeah.
not that haven't been our friends for a long time. Some of them are very new friends, so those were fun conversations, but friends nonetheless, and we know them outside of our businesses and through church, and so those conversations were we go into it. You have some talking points that we want to cover, and we kind of know how we want the podcast to go and the value we want to get out of it. But this one was very different because this is where we met, so like Crystal was asking like, oh, what are what do you know about him? What, you know, um trying to prepare,
Mhm.
for the podcast, and I'm like, nothing, absolutely nothing. I
Yeah.
know nothing about him other than that his name is Dominic, and he's a musician here in the AV.
Mhm.
And so she was like, okay, sounds good. And I'm like, and any questions you have, we're gonna find out on the podcast. And so
There you go.
I was like, that's gonna be fun, authentic, and we get to meet somebody through our podcast, which is pretty cool. So I agree. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, I think for the broadcasted portion, that's all I have now. But sincerely, this was a real pleasure, and I
Mhm.
really appreciate you guys, providing the platform and
Yeah.
asking great questions.
Thank you for
Yes,
reaching
thank
out
you.
and being open and genuine and authentic. So, um, this probably won't be the last time we're on, so I'm looking forward to our future podcast where um maybe none of us are in our W-2s and you're a big musician, and maybe we have a very successful podcast,
Mm.
and we get to have you on again um 5 years from now or something, and revisit this. That would actually be pretty cool. So
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna manifest that, and we're looking forward to having you back on in
Mhm.
the future
I love that.
when you're a
Yeah,
big
putting that out
musician.
there.
Mhm.
Same here.
That'll be fun. Super cool. Well, thanks so much for your time, and let's stay in touch, and
Mhm.
hopefully we see you November 4th at
Mhm.
Transplant,
Yeah, yeah.
and for some future shows after that.
Mhm.
Sounds good. Again,
Awesome.
pleasure. You guys have a good night,
You
Thank
as
and I'll see
well.
you
you.
Thank
around.
you so much. Thank you.
All right.